James Doohan, the soldier who became a hero at Normandy. James Doohan is primarily recognized as an actor. In Star Trek, he played Scotty from 1966 to 1969. His performances in Hawkeye and The Last of the Mohicans may be recalled by some. Many others were motivated to pursue engineering by Doohan. Yet few viewers were aware of his military service. At age 18, he enlisted in the Royal Canadian Army Cadet Corps. Doohan wasn't planning on fighting in 1938. However, a year later, World War II started. Doohan enlisted in the Canadian Royal Artillery. He was transferred to England for training in 1940. He would still have to wait 4 years before engaging in combat. On June 6, 1944, Doohan's division took part in the D-Day landings. It was a cooperative effort by the United States, Canada, and Great Britain. Juno Beach was the work of Canadians. The landing had been preceded by the dispatch of air assistance. The soldiers, however, still had to swim with their full gear to the coast. Given that it was daytime, they ran the risk of drawing enemy fire. They then had to navigate anti-tank mine-filled beaches. They became the target of sniper fire from German positions above. A member of the 13th Field Regiment was James Doohan. Before midday, they were successful in securing their goal. And Doohan was to blame for it. He eliminated 2 German snipers by himself. He then led his troops through a minefield and to higher ground. They were finally able to take defensive positions for the night. But tragedy struck that night at 11:30 p.m. Doohan was injured by gunfire as he was moving between command positions. He was struck by 6 rounds, although they weren't fired by Germans. In fact, it was a nervous Canadian sentry manning a Bren gun. Doohan was struck by 4 bullets, one of which passed through his right middle finger. He took another bullet to the chest. Thankfully, it was stopped by a silver cigarette case that his brother had given him. Later, Doohan made light of the fact that smoking had actually saved his life. He had to have the middle finger amputated. He kept it a secret for the majority of his acting career. Thankfully, Doohan's injuries healed up. After completing a pilot training program, he began flying a tail-aircraft Toster Mark V aircraft. Doohan was never a real Royal Canadian Air Force soldier. But he was still called the craziest pilot in the Canadian Air Force. He slid a Mark LV Oster between 2 telegraph poles in late spring 1945. Doohan did it just to prove it could be done. Although he received a warning, his reputation was simply enhanced. Doohan went back to Canada following the conflict. He intended to study science using the free education provided to service members. Doohan once listened to the radio. He decided to record his own radio play since he was so appalled with the caliber of existing ones. Doohan headed to the local radio station and did a recording. The radio operator was impressed. He recommended Doohan enroll at a Toronto drama school. Doohan's plan for a career in science were forgotten. Soon, the world would know him as Scotty of the Starship Enterprise.